First we have arithmetic operators, then the increment and decrement operators, followed by operator precedence. Let's begin with arithmetic operators. In my example, we have three variables, x. X will equal a number like 10. Then we have y, which I'll set to be 2. Then z. We'll assign z a value later. I will set that to be null. If I would like to add x and y together, then store the result within z, we'll have to use some addition. I could write something like this. Z equals our variable x plus our variable y. Then I will echo whatever z is. So 10 plus 2, that's 12. So that's addition. I'll go through these pretty quick. They're fairly straightforward. So 10 minus y would be subtraction. X minus y, store the result in z. The result is 8. Now multiplication, that is an asterisk. 10 times 2 is 20. Division is a forward slash. 10 divided by 2, that is 5. To raise a base to a given power, you use double asterisks. 10 to the power of 2 is 100. 10 times 10 is 100. Then we have the modulus operator. That will give you the remainder of any division. X modulus y. Well, 10 divides by 2 evenly. The remainder is 0. If y was 3, imagine that we have a group of 10 students, and they need to break into groups of 3. There's going to be one student that's remaining. So the percent sign, the modulus operator, gives you the remainder of any division. It's really helpful for determining if a number is even or odd. You would just say modulus 2. If the remainder is 1, that number is odd. If it's 0, then it's even. So those are basic arithmetic operators. Now we'll cover increment and decrement operators. I have a variable which we will name counter. I will set counter to be 0 to begin with. If I need to increment this variable by 1, as if we're counting, normally I would have to write an expression such as this. Our counter equals our counter plus 1. Then let's echo our counter variable. So the result is 1. This can be cumbersome to write. A shortcut you could do if incrementing a variable by 1 is replace this part of our expression with plus plus. Take the variable, then add plus plus. That will increment your variable by 1. Plus plus is the increment operator. For decrement, you would use minus minus. Our counter is now at -1. If I were to set our counter to 10, after decrementing, it's now 9. Use plus plus to increment, minus minus to decrement. You can increment by a given value too. If I would like to count by 2's, let's set counter to be 0. Instead of plus plus, you would write plus equals, then some number. Counter plus equals 2 will increment my variable by 2. Plus equals 3 would be 3. On the flip side, to decrement by a given value, you would use minus equals some number. So 0 minus equals 2 will decrement my variable by 2. minus equals 3 would be, well, 3. So that is the increment and decrement operators. Lastly, we have operator precedence. Given a complex arithmetic expression such as this example, in which order do we solve each part of this expression? We would begin with parentheses. Beginning from left to right, if there's anything within parentheses, we would solve that first. For example, with my expression, let's echo whatever the total currently is. So the total for me is 2.999. Beginning from left to right, solve anything within parentheses first. We currently don't have any parentheses. Then comes any exponents. So beginning from left to right, look for any exponents. We do have 5 to the power of 6. Beginning from left to right, solve any multiplication, division, then modulus, modulo. Is that the right term? So we have addition, subtraction. Here we go. We have multiplication. 3 times 4, that's 12. Then we have division. Then lastly, addition and subtraction. We have some addition. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 minus this number, 0.000768, is our result. 2.999232. That's operator precedence. If you have a complex equation, solve anything within parentheses first, then any exponents, multiplication, division, modulus, then lastly, addition and subtraction. Alright everybody, in conclusion, we have discussed arithmetic operators, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponents, and modulus. Increment and decrement operators. You can take a variable, add plus plus to increment it, or minus minus to decrement it. Then lastly, operator precedence.